Wonderful. Hello, everyone. We are on our last day. Boo-hoo. I want to stay on the boat, too. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I have so much to share. I could never fit it all in 30 minutes, but it's okay because my people today, Kim and Robert and Autumn and Nisha, already covered it. So the good news is, if you miss it here, you already got it. You got it multiple times, and hopefully this will just drive home a lot of the messages you've already heard this week and push you to take action. That's really my biggest mission here today, is to push you to take action. So first and foremost, who the heck is Coach Natalie, and why should I listen to her? You just heard a whole lot about my credentials and my background. If you want the whole sordid story, watch last year's talk, because I got into the nitty-gritty. I shared my ups and my downs, the lowest of the lows. So the biggest thing I want you to take away today is that this is the same thing I said last year. Do not tune out and say, she's a bikini model. She never had it hard. She did this. She already came out of the womb with a six-pack. It didn't happen that way, okay? I have been overweight. I have been underweight. I have been fit. I have been very fit and very, very damaged on the inside. So mentally, physically, emotionally, you name it, I've probably been there. Last December, I stepped on stage at 39 years old, and I got top 5 in Miss Wellness USA this year after my 40th birthday. Thank you, thank you. This year, after my 40th birthday, I turned 40 in February, I will be competing for a national title. So, if you think, oh my gosh, she's going to tell us about taking it to the next level. That means, oh, well, I don't want to be a bikini model, so there's nothing I can hear in this. I promise you that's not the case. Your next level doesn't have to look like my next level. But what my story can tell you is that wherever you are now, you have a next level, and you don't have to stop. Please don't stop. When you get off this boat, don't just say, I'm good here. We're going to get into a little bit of that. All right, what this talk is not. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I am not a scientist. I will not be sharing studies. I will not be telling you how to improve your mitochondria. None of that is going to come out of this talk. We're talking about the real life stuff, real people. The most beautiful part of my journey is becoming a coach. And now, not just being able to stand up here and talk about my story, but my ladies that have worked with me one-on-one. And I'm sorry, I'm embarrassing you all. I have 3 of my ladies here today, and I would like to ask them to stand. You know who you are. I've got Tina back here in the middle. I'm sure you know Tina because she's got the delts, okay? She brought the guns to the gun show. I've got Maria over here on the left. And Jennifer, is Jennifer in the building over here on the right? Look at them flanking the stage. I met these 3 ladies on the low carb cruise last year. None of these 3 ladies were where they are today last year. In many ways, they wouldn't recognize themselves, not just on the outside, but more importantly on the inside. And I love you, Autumn, because Autumn really told this story. But we're going to get into the heart, the mind, the body. What do you need to do to go to your next level? They are all in their next level, and they're not stopping. Tina's getting ready to do her first bikini competition at how old? 63 years old this year. Don't rule it out. Don't rule it out. Could be you. I'm still trying to get Bronson on stage. All right, so what am I here to tell you today? How to become the CEO of your body and your journey. That is my mission in life. 3 things I am going to cover today. How to level up like an athlete in 3 areas. You can probably already guess what those are, but I'm going to tell you in a moment. I'm going to give you my 5-step action plan for getting better results today. You can start implementing this today. And I'm going to give you resources and support to help you get there. So first, to level up like an athlete, it all starts in the mind. So we're going to go through mindset first. Of course, nutrition, and I like to call it movement, because wherever you are, like I said, there's a next step for you. Maybe it's just getting your butt off the couch and doing something, and that would be movement. Maybe it is lifting weights. Maybe it is signing up for a 5K. You have to find what that is for you, what your next level is. So of course, it all starts in the mind, so let's start there. For each of these areas, I'm going to talk about what got you here and what's going to get you there. So, what got you here with mindset? Where you are today. First of all, let me just applaud. I want you all to applaud yourselves. How many have lost 50 pounds or more? Woo! Look at that, most of the room. Give yourselves a round of applause. We've got 100-pound club. We've got some 200-pound club. You all have come a long way already. And if you're just getting started on this cruise, I know one of my buddies over here, we've had a dinner all week, just getting started, right? You're going to be in a different place when you get home than when you came on this ship. So wherever you are, congratulate yourself and give yourself credit for how far you've come. But don't stop there. So what got you here? Chasing weight loss over fat loss. You've heard a few of us this week talk about the importance of muscle mass, not just to look good in a swimsuit or to compete on a stage, but fighting sarcopenia, having independence as you age, being able to be there for your kids and your grandkids as you get older. Muscle mass is important. So we have to look at more than just the scale and maybe the way your clothes are fitting. We have to look at a lot of other metrics, and I'm going to talk about what those metrics are in just a minute. Why is this under mindset? When we're only looking at the scale, we get defeated very easily. Discouraged and defeated and decide to quit when we really could be moving forward. So let's not only look at one metric. Analysis paralysis. Oh, wait, this says this is going to do this to my mitochondria. Okay, now I've got to worry about my brain cells. Now I've got to, oh, what's the next health marker? We got that question on 2 panels. What's the next health marker I need to look at? Okay, reading studies is great. Learning about the science is great. But what are you doing? What are you putting into practice? So getting out of it, paralysis analysis. Shiny object syndrome. We've got all the fasts. We've got the sardine fast now. We used to have the egg fast. We have the, oh my gosh, OMAD. Now I'm going to do 80-20. Now I'm going to do PSMF. And now they're talking about eating a stick of butter every day. My gosh, there's a lot of shiny objects in the keto world and the low-carb world. We've got to pick one, and we've got to stick to it. See if it works. Look at the right metrics, which we'll talk about in a minute. No personalized plan. How many of you are in a whole bunch of member groups, communities, online? Oh, I know there's more than one of you. Okay. Yeah. Groups of your peers. That's great. We need community. But if you're not getting professional guidance, maybe holding yourself back. Sometimes we need more than just our buddy that's doing this with us. The big, big, big one. Comfort and complacency. Remember when you started your low-carb journey, how hard it was just to do the simplest things. Not eat the potatoes, not eat the French fries, swap out foods, learn how to swap out foods, learn how to cook, recipes, all of that. Now you got most of that down, maybe. You're in that place. And you're just doing what you've been doing because it's comfortable. And you may not be thinking because you thought, oh, I made this huge lifestyle change, that where you are now is your new comfort zone. So we've got to push those boundaries now and go to the next level of discomfort. And then the biggest killer, denial. Denial about where you are. Part of it being, well, look at how far I came, thinking you've arrived. Or disbelief in your ability to go where you really want to go. So you don't even say it. You're even afraid to make goals because you're afraid of failing. Or you just don't really think it's possible for you. After my talk last year, Tina came up to me and she said, do you think I could ever do that? Do you think it's even possible for me at my age? Absolutely. And in a couple of months, she's going to prove that true. Don't write yourself off. We're going to talk about dreaming bigger in a little bit. All right, so let's talk about what's going to get you there, to that dream that you're afraid to dream. First, we have to track the right metrics so we can get out of our heads and stop obsessing over the scale. What are the right metrics? If you don't know your current body composition, my challenge to you when you get home is to go have it done. Go to a place nearby, gyms, doctor's offices do it. There's a lot of places you can go and get it done. InBody. Coach Bronson has a code for the InBody at-home system. That's what we use. You can get a cheap digital scale at Walmart or Target. There's really no excuse for not knowing your body composition. A lot of clients come to me and they're obsessing. Which is the best one? Well, now this one's giving me that, and I think I need to get another one. Guess what that is? That's that analysis paralysis. Doesn't matter which one. Pick one and start tracking your body composition. Now you've got to take action. Now, body composition is just the basic here. Because remember, I'm not the doctor. I'm not going to tell you about your next health marker. But I'm going to tell you how to change your body. So body composition, we want to look at muscle mass. If you can get, like an InBody tells you skeletal muscle mass and body fat percentage. A lot of scales will just tell you lean body mass, which is essentially fat-free mass. It's everything that's not fat on your body. So it's a lot more than just muscle. It's going to include water. It's going to include your organs and a lot of other things. But either way, just pick something and start tracking it. And when I say tracking, I mean consistently. Not once a month. Not even once a week. Joe and Rachel said, don't weigh yourself when you get home. I'm going to tell you to weigh yourself when you get home. And I'm going to tell you to weigh yourself every day. And I'm going to tell you to weigh yourself multiple times a day. And if you have an issue with the scale, I want you to weigh yourself 10 times a day until you can desensitize yourself to the number that you're seeing on that scale. Because I promise you, the scale is not lying to you. When you've heard the scale is a liar, it is not. The scale does not have a brain. It does not have emotions. It doesn't pick what it wants to tell you every day. It is telling you the truth. So if it hurts, you've got to look inside and stop getting mad at the scale. There's a reason why it's going up and down. But if you see it every day, you start to recognize those fluctuations. And those ups don't feel as strong. And those lows don't feel as much like victories. I track for my clients every single day. We track every day, and I take averages, weekly averages. Because at one point in time, you're going to be fixated on when you were your lowest, and now you're going to be tracking everything against that. And that's why this is in the mindset section. So track the metrics. Take action. Get out of paralysis analysis. The fastest way out is to pick something to do and implement. I always tell Bronson he is the speed of implementation king. He gets an idea, there's a website tomorrow. Right? We're doing it. How do you think we ended up hosting a conference this year? I'm the analysis paralysis girl. I'm the one that's going to think about every angle before I do it. This man has leveled up my life in the last 2 years because he challenges me on that. So maybe you have a spouse, maybe you have a good friend who will be that person for you, or maybe you need to be it for yourself. Take the action. And take action consistently. Stop running after the shiny object. Pick one and stick with it. I'm with Kim. You can have my sardines. I like them every once in a while, but it's not going to be all day, every day. And it's not necessary, guys. You can do some other things. You can have some variety. I loved what Nisha had to share about finding your perfect human diet for you. All right, now this is the tough one. Asking for help is hard because we have to admit that we don't have all the answers. We have to admit that somebody else might know better than we do, and that what we have been doing maybe is not working, or maybe we're not doing it well, but we don't know the difference between whether we're doing it right and it's just not for us, or if maybe there's something that needs to be looked at a little closer. Somebody else can point out my blind spots, and then what I'm doing is not wrong, I'm just not doing it right. So You may have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and ask for some professional help. There's a lot of professionals here, a lot of different coaches. If I'm not the one for you, you got some others to choose from. There's a wide world. Find somebody that fits. Find somebody that you can trust. And then when they give you a plan, follow that plan. Embracing discomfort. That's probably the hardest part. And here's the takeaway I'll give you on that one. Every single day of your life, do something that makes you uncomfortable, even if it's the smallest thing. Even if it's putting your left shoe on before your right shoe because you're used to just putting the right shoe on first. Anything you can do like that to challenge your brain in that way will help you take those steps when it's a little bit harder. So do something every day that makes you uncomfortable, and then maybe taking that next leap, taking that leap into a carnivore 30-day challenge may not feel as uncomfortable because you're used to doing things that are not comfortable for you. And then the big one, my friends, the biggest of all, allow yourself to dream. When I get new clients, I have them do a couple of things. I give them an exercise that is a big why not and a big why. We always talk about finding your why. But for a lot of people, it's very difficult to connect to a future version of them that they've never been. I've never been there. How can I imagine what that person would live like, or how that would feel, or that it's possible for me? Well, think about what you're not happy with now. Every ache, every pain, everything that is making your life uncomfortable where it is, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things you hate about where you are right now, and write them all down. And then draw a line and write the opposite of that thing. That's how you start to construct a dream of what your future looks like that you want to go to. And when you have these two very vastly different futures in front of you, where you don't want to be and where you do want to be, this is where you make your decisions from every day. Now that low-carb, sugar-free dessert that they're offering upstairs maybe doesn't look as enticing. It's either taking me here or it's taking me here. There's no such thing as staying the same. So dream bigger, my friends. All right, leveling up your nutrition. I may fly through these things. What got you here? All the keto foods, the keto products. That was great at the start of your journey. And if you're just starting your journey, by all means, go for it. Swap things out. Take all your favorite comfort foods and make them keto, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose. That'll work for a while until it doesn't. Then you're going to be wondering, what do I do next? Now it's time to deal with the things that my colleagues talked about earlier today. Your habits, your behaviors, your emotions. Why are you turning to food when you're not hungry? Go beyond the keto products. Go beyond the low-carb products. Learn to taste real food. The next thing, chasing ketones. I can promise you something. Keto is not magic for body transformation. Can you transform your health? Absolutely. But ketone production is not necessary to look like me, to look like Bronson. I could have done this on a high-carb, low-fat diet. Would I have wanted to? Absolutely not. That would be hell for me. I'm not interested in eating rice and bland chicken with no salt and broccoli. That's what my competitor colleagues do. And guess what? They look incredible. It wasn't the ketones that did this. I eat real food. And I'm not afraid of a strawberry. And I'd rather eat a strawberry than eat a keto bar. Real food first, which I'll get to in a minute. Lazy keto is the next thing. Not tracking. It feels so hard. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. Remember doing difficult things that make you feel uncomfortable? Yeah. If you don't know what you're consuming, probably consuming too much. Yes, you can eat too much on a keto diet. It's not just as long as you're eating the right things, you can eat them ad nauseum. That's a major, major issue I see. Of course, once again, just like we talked about in mindset, following the hot trends. instead of sticking with something. If something's working for you, keep doing it. Keep doing it until you're no longer getting results. There's no need to jump ship. And the inconsistency. Stopping before. If you've ever seen the image, I should have put it on here, of the guy digging for the diamond, and it's like right there, and then he gives up, and he walks away. And it was just on the other side of the next rock. Don't stop. All right, so what will get you there? Changing your habits and not just changing your foods. I already talked about that. Real food first is my mantra. Real food first. Supplementing with all of these sweet treats and fat bombs will keep you stuck. And it's probably the low-hanging fruit for most people. Cut those things out. Even I give up my protein powders sometimes. And I promise you it makes a difference every single time I'm prepping for a show. Protein powder comes out, things start moving along. Eat more protein. I'm on team protein with Coach Bronson and some others here. Don't be afraid of protein, guys. You need it to build your body. It builds every tissue in your body. Not just, once again, for the aesthetic muscles, but for the whole skeleton of your body. Protein is king. If nothing else, take that away. Track your nutrition. Let go of the lazy keto. Do that uncomfortable thing. Start tracking what you're eating. And when people come to me and they're looking for magic macros, I have a homework assignment for them. For 2 weeks, at least for one, preferably 2. Track what you're already doing to a T and do not change anything. If I don't know where you're starting from, I don't know where to take you. There are no such thing as arbitrary macros. If you are currently following what some app tells you you should eat for your body weight, size, age, whatever you plug in there, that is not for you. Maybe it could be, but it's kind of like a crapshoot. You don't really know. It's all technology and what they're calculating based on estimations. So look at what you're already doing, and then we can adjust from there. And we don't need to go to extremes. You don't need to go 80-20 or PSMF. You can live in the middle and just find that little bit of difference that's going to make a difference for you. When I do a prep for a stage, slowly drop my calories with my fats. Slowly increase my calories with fats when I'm coming out of a fat loss phase and I need to put body fat back on after a show. Guess what doesn't change? My protein and my carbs. How simple is that? Protein's the same all the time. Carbs are the same all the time, already low. The only thing I need to change is a small amount of fat and a small amount of fat up and down. It makes life so easy. Here's the biggest thing that I see most people doing wrong. Not applying their own context to the things that they're seeing out there. So-and-so's doing this and getting results. So-and-so is not you. Ask yourself, who is this information intended for? Does it fit my context? And then finally, commit, commit, commit to consistency. You did not fall off the wagon, you jumped. Every single time you made that choice. Remember I talked about being the CEO of your body? Guess who's in charge? Nothing is ever, ever out of your control. All right, quickly I'm going to go through because I only have 5 more minutes. Level up your movement. What got you here? Maybe for you, once again, everybody's different in this room, so eat the fish, spit out the bones if it's not for you, okay? Being sedentary, that might be you. You've been afraid to start moving more. I had a client who had high anxiety. Getting on the treadmill scared her. I have worked with quite a few clients who have hypochondria, and every little ache and pain stopped them from taking action. So if that's you, what's that next step that you can take? Maybe it's walking around the room a few times a day, getting up from your desk if you're at a desk job. The other biggest thing I see, especially with my ladies who are afraid of the weights section, only doing cardio. Because the weights look intimidating or the gym is intimidating. And what's the easy thing to do? Walking more. Oh, I walk. Great. How long have you been doing that? If that's all you're doing, it's time to take it up a notch. And I don't mean running. I run when dogs are chasing me or when I have a show. Otherwise, not really my jam. So pick up some weights. And if you're not there yet, your body weight is resistance. Bands are resistance. There's a lot of resistance training you can do before you pick up weights. But when you do start resistance training, the next problem is too low intensity. And you've heard some strategies already about what you can do to increase your intensity. And I'm going to share where you can get some free information from me about all of these things on a regular basis. I recently taught a masterclass on 10 different ways to get progressive overload, which is something that Robert talked about earlier. So it's not just about picking up more weight. There's a lot of other ways that you can advance and improve your resistance training. Okay, we get a lot of burnout because we do too much too soon. You go from couch potato to, I'm going to sign up for this challenge, and you burn out after the first week. Your body is exhausted. It's like, what are you doing to me? We don't do this. That's right, we don't do this. And then you just stop. Okay, so start slow. Talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, here comes our shiny object syndrome again, right? There's this program, there's that program. Which one's the right one? Analysis paralysis, jumping from program to program. Sticking with it. I'll tell you, the boring work, we're going to talk about the boring work, is what all successful athletes and individuals in any area of life, business, anything else, right? The businesses that are most successful are the ones who've been successful for the longest. Figured out what worked and they just kept doing it. So if you're not moving yet, start moving. If you're only doing cardio, swap it out for resistance training. You could do cardio once or twice a week, but don't make that the only thing you're doing. Challenge yourself in your training. Got to pick on my ladies again. If you're doing 3 sets of 10 with the same weights you've been doing for years, nope. You can ask Maria. We've changed the game for her, and she looks like an athlete now. It's incredible. I tell her every time I see her, I don't recognize you. It's amazing. She stopped doing the same things she was doing. First, she started moving. Then it was the 3x10, right? Follow along videos. Then it was slow down the movement, pick up heavier weight. Improve, progress. So challenge yourself. Start small. Don't jump all the way in and try to do too much and burn out. And recover well. Treat your self-care, your sleep, your recovery as important as your training. Overtraining will get you nowhere. Your body will be inflamed and tired, and it will not be able to recover, and muscle does not grow in the gym. Muscle gets broken down in the gym. It grows in the recovery. So if you're not doing 5-6 days a week, start with 3 days a week and take a rest in between every day. Doesn't have to be a lot. And then fall in love with the boring work. I did the same training program with the same coach for 2 years in a row, and that's what got me my pro card and placing in my first pro show. Same training, didn't have to change anything. All right, I'm about out of time, so let's quickly go through my 5-step action plan, and don't worry, it's so fast. You can remember it very easily. Lift, eat meat, sleep, repeat. Those are the main 4. Do those consistently over time. And number 5 is refine. That means you have to be tracking and analyzing every month or 2. Am I making the progress I want to make? If you're not, there's something you need to look at. Get professional help or find where the blind spots are. And if you need help, here's where you can get it. First and foremost, take a screenshot of this. I'm giving you my Level Up journal for free. This is the exact prompts that I give my clients every single week that they check in with me on their biofeedback, their biometrics, questions to ask yourself every week to see if you're making progress. You can be your own coach with this journal. So grab that for free. I'm going to give you another second or 2 to take your screenshots of it. Secondly, sorry, men, this is for the ladies only. Join my Keto Bikini group on Facebook. You don't have to be a bikini competitor. You don't have to even want to wear a bikini. Join us. Every week I go live with free masterclasses and free Q&As. And this is where a ton of really deep information is shared about all the things I talked about today and much more. If you're ready to take that next level and dive into private coaching, you can book a call with me, 30-minute free discovery call, or I do sell one-time consultations if you're not ready for that commitment of one-on-one coaching. So you can grab that from my website, nataliejgrasso.com. Remember the J. And brand new, I'm all about the grace and the grind, guys. You have to find a balance here. It's not all or nothing. I'm a big proponent, and I talk about this a lot, getting rid of that black and white thinking, all or nothing thinking. I now have a Grace and Grind membership. This came out of a Grace and Grind challenge that I did in January that was all about the mindset. And this is where we meet once weekly on Zoom. And it's a very, very affordable $29 a month. It's a great place to start just to get a little bit of community and support. And I'm bringing back my Summer Shred Challenge this year. So this is for the people who do like to go a little harder. You want to dive in, you want to shred like a bikini pro. 6 weeks. This challenge is launching. I'll open up applications next week and we'll start on July 1st. This was the thing that started it all back in 2020 in the pandemic. Started that, and then Keto Bikini Body was born. So I would love to have you with me for my next challenge. And we would love to see you in person. So come see Bronson and I this July 14th and 15th on the East Coast in Maryland for Antithetic Conference. You're going to see a lot of the faces that you saw on stage today and our wonderful Masters of Ceremony kicking us off there as well. So we would love to have you. And then later this fall, we are bringing our couples retreat back to the Smoky Mountains this year. We were at the beach last year, the mountains this year, and we have our carnivore keto private chef with us this year. So we'd love to have you with us in Gatlinburg. Come on out to our couples and screenshot this for where to find me on social media. I hope I have inspired you today to take that next step, find your next level, do what it takes, get out of the comfort zone, and who knows, maybe you'll be doing your bikini competition next year.